Hey everyone, Colton from Lacrosse All Stars here to do another stringing video for you. Today I've got a Maverik Spider 17. First impressions again, pretty solid head, very flexible when I started messing with it. Really basic, pretty obvious for top string holes for stringing your top string. Not a lot of sidewall holes, looks like I'll be using all of them, not skipping any. Let's get right into it, start stringing. Starting with our mesh, finding your 10 diamond row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, folding it over, and creasing it right on top. Look for the flaps on the outside. You can see these, you'll have 9 diamonds now on the row you're going to string your top string on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just using white 10 diamond hard mesh. It's kind of my go-to mesh for all my sticks. It's consistent from what I've been using. It's you can never go wrong with white 10 diamond hard mesh. Here, let's start on the top string. So we got our mesh going. We're making sure the flap's on the back side. We're gonna start on the first sidewall hole, very top one. Going through the outside first, through your first set of diamonds on the top string, back through the same sidewall hole and the same diamond to kind of lock it into place to get everything going. There we go. And since there's not that many side or top string holes on this stick, you can see the 4 you're going to use right away. It's pretty easy. We're going to not skip any diamonds on the top string for this first hole, and starting off going through the back of the scoop through the very next diamond in your top row, pulling it through, pulling it tight. Back through the same diamond you just went through and back through the front of the scoop. And you got your big loop here, a sidewall string, bringing it down and tightening everything up. You're going to repeat that all the way across. Let's get a little bit closer so you can see. There we go. Alright, so this time we're skipping a diamond, going to this next one right here that lines up with the hole. Going through the back of the scoop first, coming through both sets of diamonds that you folded over. And a big mistake I see people make is they go on the outside of this loop. You kind of got your loop of sidewall to start with. Make sure that goes inside right off the bat. And then back through the same diamond, front of the scoop. You got your big loop again, down through the middle, pulling it tight. There we go. Now, to keep this side from bagging out when you pull it on the sidewall, we're gonna lock it in just like we locked in this side. So we're gonna go through the back of the mesh first, and then back through the top sidewall hole. Maybe, there we go. And then you're just wrapping it around, doing it one more time. So back through the same diamonds and through the same top sidewall hole. And then we're gonna tie it off. Oh, see what happened there? You can see my flap kind of escaped the loop. So when that happens, just pull it back out. Make sure it's in like that, and then pull it tight. That way you can see both right here are looped in and locked into place. There we go. Then we're gonna tie it off. You get it as tight as you can, and then once you tie your knot again, pull it tighter, and then try and do one more knot further down the top string so it is as tight as possible and won't loosen up over time. There we go. We're off and running. Top string complete. Let's move on to the sidewalls. Alright, we are done with the top string, moving on to the sidewalls. Make sure when you do your sidewalls, you do the same pattern on both sides. I'll show you one, and then you can copy the other one yourself, and we'll meet down at the throat string, alright? Here we go. I always like to start on the left side of the stick. It's just how I've done it always. We're gonna start on this top, or this very next available sidewall hole. We're gonna go through from the outside, through the diamond, and then we're gonna skip the next sidewall hole, and we're gonna go down one, so there's one in between, and then you're coming back up through the same diamond. There we go. And so you've got your big loop here. Bring your end of your sidewall string up through the loop to interlock it, and then pull it down to lock it in place. This is going to help you keep everything up here really tight and get a nice channel when you do the other side to match it. Alright, we got our interlocks done. Let's show you how to double stack here on the mesh. So we got our 3 interlocks done. We're gonna use these next 2 holes right here that my fingers are in for the double stack, where you kind of want to form your pocket. You can put this anywhere up and down the sidewall if you want, but I like to put it kind of right in the middle, get a nice mid pocket so I can have a good amount of hold and whip. So we're coming through the bottom, and then right again, instead of going to the sidewall holes like we did last time right away, we're going through the next mesh diamond on the side right here, coming back through, pulling it up. And then you can pull it up, kind of pull your mesh up so you can get your sidewall. You can see how there's one mesh diamond in each from here to here to here, and right here there's 2. So the 2 right here is going to make it so the pocket's going to sit right here. It's going to be nice. So then go to your next sidewall hole through, and instead of going back through the mesh like we did before on the interlocks, just come straight back, not through the mesh. Pull it up nice and tight. And there, we got our first stack done. Let's do one more, because I kind of like to have a larger pocket so it shifts up and down, whether I'm cradling one-handed or 2. So we're going back through the next 2 mesh diamonds. 1 and 2. Pulling it up so you can see the 2 stack right here again. And then back through the outside of the sidewall, and then straight back through, not through the mesh like we did on the interlocks, just wrapping it around the sidewall. And I've noticed the Maverik Spider 17 kind of has these nice little grooves. I don't know if you guys can see them that well. There's some grooves right here where the sidewall goes. It kind of holds everything in place. It's really nice from a stringer's point of view. So we got the 2 doubles done. Now we are going to just do singles, and we're home free on this sidewall. So these next ones that are just single sidewalls, not doubles or interlocks, you do the same thing you did with the double, but with only 1 sidewall diamond. So through 1, through the next sidewall hole, and not back through the mesh. See how I'm avoiding the mesh? Coming straight around, wrapping it around the head and back up through this loop. There we go. Tightness is everything. It's gonna, if your sidewalls are loose, your stick's gonna bag out. It's gonna be illegal. It's gonna get whippy. It's not gonna be consistent. You're not gonna have a good time. Here we go. go. Just repeating all the way down until we're gonna tie it off. And we got one more. Let's stretch it out a little bit more. We're gonna end on our last one right here. Coming through from the outside of the sidewall hole, back through. All right, now it's time to tie it off. So how we came through the sidewall hole from the outside every time, and now we're coming from the inside so we can tie it off. So the next diamond you'd use for a sidewall is this one right here, not this one. Make sure you're using the outside ones on the 10 diamond rows. We're coming from the outside of the mesh, from the back of the mesh for the first time, and coming back through and going through the inside of the sidewall hole. And then we're gonna tie it off. There we go. We got a sidewall done. You can kind of already see the pocket starting to form. It might look a little goofy without the other sidewall done, but let's go ahead and I'll meet you guys at the throat string. Now it's up to you to do the other sidewall, do the exact same pattern we did on this one, and you'll be hung. All right, you guys got the sidewall done, and it should be looking something like this. Starting to look good. And time to throw in the throat string. I'm gonna use a little piece of volt that I have left over. It'll kind of match the shaft, a little flare, if you want to get a little flashy in summer ball like I do. And my throat string is kind of different from a lot of people's. I like to do it my own way. We're gonna get your first, you gotta use all 4 holes. We're gonna go through the furthest right one from the bottom first. Coming up through like that. And then going back, not through the mesh or any other holes. Then you're gonna come back up under through the 3rd hole. And it's gonna look like that. And then we're gonna find where you ended your sidewalls. We're gonna find the row right above that. It's gonna not line up nice so we can use our throat string. We're gonna count 2 sidewalls, or 2 mesh diamonds in on each side. So 1, 2, and then we're gonna put it on the 3rd one right here. So we're kind of crossing over. See how I'm on this side of the throat string, crossing over, and the 3rd one in, going through. See how it's crossed over there? And then same thing on the other side, count 2 diamonds in, 1, 2, and go back through the 3rd, like so. And now we're gonna go back through that hole we skipped right here, from the top down, and then bring it back up. So it looks like that so far, and then we got 1 hole left, and go through the top down again and tie it off, and we'll have a throat string kind of looking like that. There we go, she's looking pretty. Alright, once you guys have your throat string and sidewalls and top strings done, find a ball or a round object of some sort, just kind of start beating the mesh in, trying to form that pocket. It'll help, it'll look a lot better once we put the shooters in, and then it's starting to look good. There we go, got a nice big pocket, the ones I like to play with. This is just my way of stringing my sticks. It's not the only way to string a stick. This is the stick, or a stick that I would play with. It's got a nice large pocket for I kind of like the ball to sway when I'm cradling, kind of like this. You can kind of feel it in the stick. And I like the pocket to shift high and low. So if I'm cradling, the pocket will come down here, one-handed, and if I want to like start doing some toe drags or something, I can bring it up and it'll become kind of higher. So I really like a fatter pocket than normal. And let's throw some shooters in. Well, first let's do a nylon. If I can untie this knot here. I put a nylon in all of my sticks. I think it helps with the release a little bit. I get a little more snap on the ball. I don't really like the ball hitting the plastic when I'm passing or shooting. So adding this nylon kind of adds a little lip or some snap to help you release the ball before it hits the plastic. So since we don't have any open sidewall holes here, we're just gonna find kind of a gap in the sidewall, like this one right here. Or we're gonna go this one because I always string from left to right. So we're gonna take your nylon, go through that hole. See how it's just right in between the sidewall and the mesh? Oh, I did it backwards. On the other side. Now you can see it better. Through right there. Pull it through. Make sure it's all even so you don't run out of space. And then we're just doing over under every time through the mesh. So you're gonna take the sidewall or the nylon that's on the back side of the stick, put it through, make sure they're even still. Take the nylon that was on the front of the stick to start with and put it over the top of the one you just pulled through from the back. I'm doing the same thing. So from the back, through first, pull it down so it's going under, take the one from the front and go over. And we're just going to repeat that all the way across. You can start doing them at the same time. Under and over, pull them through, under and over, pull them through, under, over. This is just your classic nylon, nothing fancy about it. Okay, so we're at the end here. We got your piece in the front and your piece in the back. Take your piece in the front and go through that same gap you went through on the other side, pulling it through. And now turn it around and tie it off just like you're starting to tie the beginning of tying your shoes. And do it again. Make a nice little square knot. We got our nylon in place. Alright guys, we're gonna, since I strung up my last stick like a college player, I'm gonna string this one up as if a high schooler was using it, like I do for a lot of the kids that go to my high school. And I'm gonna throw a 5U and a 3U in there. What that means is the shooters are gonna be formed like this, and at the very top is gonna go across 5 diamonds and then 3 diamonds. I like the 5 and 3 combo because the 5 seems to be almost the exact width of the ball, and it just makes for a really smooth release, and I haven't had any complaints with it, so we're gonna go ahead and do it. So the way to do this one is a little tricky. So you find your 9 diamond row, so right here, right under the nylon will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you're gonna count 2 in from each side. So 1, 2, and 1, 2, and then you should have 5 left in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you have the same number of diamonds on each side so it's symmetrical and the shooter's not offset. So you find your 5 to your furthest left diamond in the row of 5 and follow that down diagonally all the way down to the sidewall, and that's where you're going to start. Okay? So put it through like that. And then I always like to double check to make sure, because the shooters are kind of a pain to redo if you don't do them right. So again, we got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 row right here with 2 diamonds on each side. We're going to follow it all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's kind of hard to see because it's where we doubled up, but the diamond we're starting on is right here. So again, we're going from the back, we're going, pulling it through, going under, from the front, going over the top. And then instead of going straight across, we're going up diagonally. So we're going under and over, under and over, under, over, under, over, under, over. And you can't, and now you can't go any further up because we've hit the nylon. and there's 2 diamonds right here on the side, 1, 2, and now we're gonna go 4 across. So we already started our 1, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, and then we'll go back down. So we got our 1, so this is our second one in our row of 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going back down. So it kind of gets a little trickier when you go down, going 2 shooters at a time. So pull the one from the back down, under, and the one from the front, over. Under, over, under, over, under, and over, and we're on our last one, and we're gonna tie it off. So we are tying this off just like we tied off the nylon. Find the gap between the plastic of the head and the sidewall and kind of poke your shooter through that. Pull it through. There we go. And we're going to tie it off same way, like you're beginning of tying your shoes, and then one more time. And we'll clean all this up in the end when we make sure it throws well. A big mistake I've made in the past is cutting off all my shooters and sidewall strings before I knew it threw well. So if you're stringing and you string up your shooters like this and you don't like it and they're already too short now, you're kind of out of luck. Hey everybody, you just finished stringing up your Maverik Spider 17, and once you go hit the wall with it and make sure everything's good, you can tighten it all up. It'll look real nice and clean with all the loose strings gone. Really like how it turned out. I haven't played with the 2Us since high school, since it hasn't been legal for me for 3 years now. Actually, only 1 year, I apologize. The rule changes went into effect last year. But nevertheless, I haven't played with the U's in a while. I really like the look of this head. I really like the narrow throat and then how it gets wider. It allows for a nice deep pocket for me, which is fantastic because I'm on the border of being legal almost every game. And got a nice pocket here. Turned out well. Let me know what you guys think. Email me at colton@lacrosseallstars.com or tweet me at Colton Raichl LAS. And hope you guys had a good time watching. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.